All right, welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're really strapping in. We're taking a trip, virtually at least, down to Chile. It's all about the wine country, and specifically, Chilean enotourism.
Okay.
Yeah, this is our deep dive, designed to give you, well, basically the ultimate shortcut. A map, if you like, for planning a truly memorable wine experience down there. Chile itself, I mean, it's this geographical marvel, isn't it? Just this incredibly long, thin strip of land. Our mission today is pretty straightforward. We want to give you the essentials, the key wine regions, what grapes really define them, and yeah, the most unmissable enotourism spots you should probably prioritize. So let's kick off with what makes Chile so, well, unique for wine.
Well, what's really fascinating, I think, is how Chile's wine character, the terroir, right? It's pretty much defined by these two massive geographical features, giants, really.
Okay.
You've got the Andes Mountains over in the east, huge barrier, loads of altitude, that pure meltwater.
Like the water source.
Exactly. And then, boom, on the other side, the west, you've got the Pacific Ocean. And it's not just any ocean water. It's kept incredibly cold by the Humboldt Current.
Ah, okay. So it's like this huge natural air conditioner almost.
Yeah.
How does that setup near the big mountains and that cold sea actually change how the wine tastes?
It creates something absolutely vital. High thermal amplitude. Think of it like this, maybe. The grapes get really warm, loads of sun during the day, but then at night, whoosh, that cold air rolls in from the Pacific and cools everything right down.
Big temperature swing.
Huge swing. And that difference, that day-night difference, stops the grapes ripening too quickly. It locks in the flavors, the acidity, keeps the wine vibrant, stops it tasting, flat. That balance, that's really the secret sauce for quality.
It's quite a setup. And just for context, we should probably mention the history. It's not just about Cabernet Sauvignon, right?
Yeah.
The Spanish brought the first vines way back, didn't they?
Yeah.
In the 16th century, that Paez grape.
That's right, the hardy pace. But the big shift, the modernization, that came later. In the 19th century, Chilean landowners, they were looking at Bordeaux, France.
Ah, the French connection.
Exactly. They were inspired. They started importing those noble French grapes, Cabernet, Merlot, the classics, and really updated the whole winemaking game.
Okay, so let's follow that cold air you mentioned.
Yeah.
Let's head towards the coast. We're talking about Casablanca and San Antonio valleys.
Yeah.
Where the Pacific really calls the shots.
Precisely. These are your cool climate champions, especially for white wines. The climate there is completely dictated by that cold ocean influence. Direct hit. You get this really characteristic morning fog. They call it camanchaca.
Camanchaca.
Yeah, and these constant cool breezes blowing inland, all that moisture, the cool air, it means the grapes mature really slowly, very gradually, helps preserve that all-important acidity.
And I guess when you taste the wines from there, the standout is Sauvignon Blanc. That's the star.
Oh, undisputed star, absolutely.
And it's not just like generically crisp, is it? It has specific notes.
Right, you get that classic citrus, definitely grapefruit, maybe some lemon zest, and those herbaceous notes too, like fresh cut grass, maybe a touch of asparagus. But the clincher, because it's so close to the sea, is this distinct mineral or almost saline edge.
Ah, that taste of the ocean thing.
You really get it. It makes them incredibly distinctive.
So that unique taste, it must influence the kind of tourism experiences you find there.
It absolutely does. It's often linked to the scenery, the vibe. Take Viña and Domita, for instance. It's known for this really modern, striking architecture. Sits up on this hill, and the views are just spectacular.
Yeah.
Panoramic. You see the whole valley right out to the Pacific. It's quite dramatic.
Sounds amazing. And what if you're more focused on the food side of things?
Then Casas del Bosque is probably where you'd head. They're really known for high-end gastronomy, seasonal menus, designed specifically to pair with their crisp, cool climate wines.
Makes sense.
Plus, they do fun stuff, too. Like, you can do bike tours through the vineyards, or they arrange these rather elegant gourmet picnics.
And that pairing, the wine and food. You mentioned seafood.
Oh, definitely. That vibrant acidity, that minerality we talked about, this is just perfect for Chilean seafood. Think oysters, grilled fish, and ceviche. The wine's acidity just sings alongside that lime marinade. It cuts through beautifully.
Perfect harmony, yeah. Okay, that coastal freshness sounds incredible. But maybe we're ready for something different. Let's trade that crispness for, say, more structure, more power. We need to head inland then, right? Away from the fog into the red heartland.
That's the move. Into the Central Valley we go. Maipo and Colchagua are the big names here. Let's start with Maipo. It's got tradition, loads of history, and it's conveniently close to Santiago. This is really Cabernet Sauvignon territory. the queen grape, as they sometimes say, Castareña,
Grape, I like that.
especially the Alto Maipo subregion, places like Pirque, Puente Alto, higher up.
And why does being higher up, the altitude, matter so much for Cabernet?
Well, that mountain influence, it's key. It brings, how to put it, elegance, along with those firm tannins you expect from good Cabernet. And really complex aromas. When you taste a top Maipo cab, you're looking for things like cassis, dark chocolate, and often this distinctive sort of menthol or minty lift, a freshness.
And the history there is really tangible, isn't it? Visiting Maipo, you almost have to go to Conchitoro, right? The whole Casillero del Diablo story.
Absolutely. The tour of that cellar, where the founder, Don Melchor, supposedly started a rumor about the devil living there.
Just to stop people stealing his best wine.
Exactly. It's great storytelling, pure theater. You have to experience it. And for a different kind of immersion, more cultural maybe, Santa Rita is fantastic. They've preserved this incredible colonial architecture. There's even a luxury hotel, the Casa Real, on the estate.
Wow.
And they have the Andean Museum there too. It's packed with pre-Columbian artifacts, colonial pieces. It's this amazing blend of wine, history, art, really quite something.
Okay, so you've got this big, structured Maipo Cabernet. What do you eat with it? Need something substantial, I imagine.
Definitely. Think classic, hearty Chilean dishes. Pastel de choclo is a great match, that savory meat and corn casserole, almost like a shepherd's pie, but with corn.
Oh, yeah, I know that one. Delicious.
Or charcacan, that traditional stew, often with dried meat, pumpkin, potatoes. Proper comfort food that stands up to the wine.
All right, from Maipo, let's head a bit further south to Colchagua Valley. This one has a reputation as, like, the capital of premium reds.
Unequivocally. Yeah, Colchagua is widely seen as the premium red valley. It's generally warmer and drier than Maipo, which means the red grapes can achieve this really full, rich, perfect maturation. And this valley is particularly famous for being the sanctuary for Chile's most emblematic grape.
Ah, okay, here we go. The comeback kid, Carmenere, the grape that basically vanished from Bordeaux.
Almost extinct, yeah. Wiped out by phylloxera there.
And then, surprise, it turns up in Chile, hiding in plain sight, mistaken for Merlot for, 150 years?
It's an incredible story, isn't it? A real case of mistaken identity on a massive scale.
Talk about a plot twist.
It really is, and Carmenere absolutely thrives in Colchagua, particularly in the clay soils you find there. Its profile is typically dark fruit. Think plums, blackberries, maybe some sweet spice notes like paprika or tobacco. But the key identifier, the thing everyone talks about, is that slight herbaceous touch.
Right, the green note.
Yeah. If it's not fully ripe, you can get distinct green bell pepper or maybe graphite, olive notes. But the warmth of Colchagua usually ensures it gets properly ripe, softening those tannins and letting the dark fruit really shine.
And the tourism in Colchagua, it seems pretty high-end. Some really striking places to visit.
Oh, definitely. You got Viña Montes, which is famous for its architecture is based on feng shui principles, pyramid structure, and this huge sculpted angel watching over the barrels in the cellar.
An angel, wow.
Yeah. And you go there to taste their icon wines, naturally, like Purple Angel, which is mostly Carmenere. It's fantastic.
Now on the super luxury end.
You're probably looking at Lapistol, especially their Close Apaldo winery. It's architecturally stunning. This multi-level, gravity-fed cellar built like a spiral into the hillside. Really impressive engineering.
Sounds incredible.
But, if you want something maybe a bit more romantic or just different, Viumanen is famous for its tours. You can explore the vineyards in these lovely old horse-drawn carriages.
Oh, that sounds charming.
Or even on horseback, if you prefer. It's a great way to see the vines up close.
Okay, so these Colchagua Reds, Carmenere, Cabernet, Syrah blends, they sound pretty intense, structured.
They are complex wines.
So the food pairings need to match up, right?
Absolutely. You need powerful flavors. Rich red meats are a classic, think grilled steak, maybe slow-cooked lamb chops. And mature cheeses work really well, too. Something semi-hard with character, like a good Gruyere or maybe an aged cheddar.
Right. And while we're talking about these premium wines, you often see terms like Reserva or Grand Reserva on the labels. What do those generally mean in Chile?
Good question. They are generally indicators of quality, especially from valleys like Maipo or Colchagua. Basically, they signify that the wine has had extended aging before release. Usually means more time spent in oak barrels and then often more time aging in the bottle as well.
So, suggesting more complexity, more structure, potentially a higher quality wine.
That's the general idea, yes. It implies a commitment to aging and developing the wine further.
Got it. That helps put things in context. Okay, let's zoom out a bit now. Beyond these sort of big two red valleys, where else should curious wine explorers look? Let's talk about the expanding frontiers. If we head north again, past Santiago, there's the Aconcagua Valley. What's the story there?
Aconcagua is interesting. It gets this dual influence mountain and ocean, as they say. It can produce really intense, powerful reds. Cabernet Sauvignon, Syrah, they do very well there. Think of Viña Errázuriz, for example. They make some iconic wines there like Senya.
And food-wise, for those intense reds.
Again, you're looking at richer dishes. Lamb is classic Cordero, hearty roasts, that kind of thing.
Okay, and then heading south from the Central Valley, there's a lot of history down there too, right? In places like Mal and Itata.
Oh, absolutely. Mal Valley, you could call it the cradle of Chilean viticulture in some ways, the birthplace of old vines. There's a real focus there now on reviving old vine Carignan. These are often dry farmed vineyards, meaning no irrigation, and many vines are centennial, literally over 100 years old.
Wow, centennial vines.
Yeah, producing these wonderfully rustic, authentic, characterful wines. It's a real rediscovery happening there.
And even further south, Itata Valley. That feels like it's getting a lot of buzz lately.
Itata's fascinating. It's often called the New Frontier, even though it's historically one of the oldest wine regions.
Bit of a contradiction.
It is, but the buzz is about the style. It's cool climate down there, too, and they have incredibly old vines, not just Carignan, but also Pays and Sinsalt, and winemakers are using these old vines to create these really elegant, sometimes lighter-bodied wines, more of an old world style, maybe, definitely distinct from the big, powerful reds of the Central Valley. It's exciting stuff.
Okay, this is all fantastic. Makes me want to book a flight. So let's talk practicalities. Planning a trip. When's the best time to actually go?
Timing is pretty key, yeah. It depends what you're looking for. If you want that full-on harvest experience, the buzz, the smell of fermenting grapes, then you want to go during the Vendima, the harvest. That's Chilean autumn, so roughly March to May.
Right, peak activity time.
Exactly. But if you prefer things a bit greener, maybe milder weather for, say, those bike tours or picnics.
Spring, maybe.
Spring is beautiful, too. October to December. The vineyards are lush. The weather's generally lovely and mild.
Okay, good to know. And getting around. Rent a car. Tours.
Both have pros and cons. Renting a car gives you loads of flexibility, obviously. You can set your own pace, explore smaller places. But, and this is a big, but you absolutely must have a designated driver.
Yeah, absolutely critical after wine tastings.
Non-negotiable. Safety first. The alternative is taking private tours or joining group tours. It's more expensive, sure, but it means everyone can relax, enjoy the tastings, and you get the benefit of local knowledge and guidance. Takes the stress out of navigating, too.
Makes sense. Okay, before we wrap up, quick recap on a couple of terms. Terroir, we mentioned it at the start.
Right. Terroir is just that French term for the complete natural environment in which a particular wine is produced. It includes factors like the soil, the topography, the climate, everything that gives the wine its unique character, its sense of place.
Got it. And Grand Reserva we covered generally means longer aging. Okay, that brings us towards the end and time for our final thought for you, the listener. We talked about how Chile's geography, those Andes Mountains, the Pacific Ocean, shaped the terroir. But that geography did something else incredibly important, didn't it?
It absolutely did. It acted like a natural quarantine barrier. It protected Chile's vineyards from phylloxera. That's the tiny vine louse that devastated vineyards across Europe in the late 19th century.
Wiped them out, basically.
Pretty much. But because Chile was so isolated geographically, phylloxera never really took hold there in the same way.
Which means Chile has vines growing on their original rootstocks that are incredibly old.
Exactly. Centennial vines, like we mentioned, that old vine current in Malay, the Pays and Itata. These vines are treasures. They represent a direct lineage back to before the phylloxera disaster, something that's incredibly rare elsewhere in the world.
So when you visit a place like Malay and you taste a wine made from those 100-year-old Carignan vines, you're not just tasting grapes, are you?
Not at all. You're tasting history. A lineage saved by mountains and ocean.
So here's the question for you to ponder, maybe as you sip your next glass of Chilean wine. Think about those modern winemakers in places like Malay or Itata. They have access to amazing technology, new techniques, innovation is happening. But they also have this unique inheritance, these incredibly old, historically significant vines like Pays and Carignan. How do they balance that drive for innovation and modern quality with the responsibility they have to preserve these unique historical varietals?
Yeah, these living pieces of Chile's unbottled history.
It's a fascinating tension, isn't it? Balancing the future with the irreplaceable past. That's maybe the true deep complexity of Chilean wine culture today.
So,
The thing to think about.